Alright, let's dive into a time machine and travel back 4,000 years. You're in the dusty streets of Uruk, a bustling Sumerian city. The air's thick with the scent of clay ovens and spices. You're weaving through a crowded market when a scream rips through the noise. You sprint, pushing past people. And there it is, a body. Enlil-Nasir, one of Uruk's richest merchants, lies dead. A bronze dagger plunged into his chest, blood pooling in the dirt. A whispering crowd gathers, eyes wide with fear. No police, no forensics, no DNA tests. Just you, this crowd, and a dark mystery to unravel. So what would you do to solve this murder? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This ancient detective story will blow your mind, so hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. We're about to uncover how murders were solved in the ancient world, step by gripping step. In the ancient world, a murder wasn't just a death. It could plunge a village or city into chaos. One wrong accusation could spark feuds, ignite blood vendettas. Modern detectives hunt for fingerprints or check cameras. Back then, zero tech. Yet the Sumerians cracked these cases. How? With sharp eyes, the power of the community, a touch of faith, and sometimes the wrath of the gods. Clay tablets tell us how they did it. Today, we're solving Enlil-Nasir's murder, becoming detectives in the streets of Uruk. But watch out, every corner hides a twist, every clue a trap. Ready? Let's jump into this dark journey. Uruk's market is alive with chaos. Merchants shout, goats bleat, clay tablets change hands. But this morning's different. A scream freezes the crowd. Enlil-Nasir, one of Uruk's wealthiest merchants, lies sprawled on the ground, a dagger in his chest. Blood seeps into the dusty earth. A crowd forms. No one knows what to do. Who did it? Someone whispers. An enemy, another mutters. You're there, in the thick of it, your eyes on the body, your ears catching every murmur. Will you solve this murder? Drop your first move in the comments. In Sumerian times, a murder wasn't just a crime. It was a storm that could tear a community apart. A false accusation could turn families into enemies, spark citywide chaos. Even before the Code of Hammurabi, Sumerians fought for justice. But how? No tech, no labs. Yet murders got solved. Enlil-Nasir's case is the perfect example to unravel this. First step, rally the crowd. The city leader, priests and elders step in. Everyone's a detective. So, how did this crowd find the truth? Here's where ancient sleuthing kicks off. The leader shouts, "Who saw something?" Voices erupt. A vendor says, Enlil-Nasir was arguing in the market yesterday. A woman adds, "He owed someone money." Another yells, "That dagger, it's a smith's work." Witnesses were the backbone of ancient detective work. Clay tablets tell us, in a murder case, their words were gold. The Code of Hammurabi leaned heavily on testimony. But there was a catch. What if witnesses lied, or were too scared to talk? Imagine you're the city leader. The crowd's buzzing, but who do you trust? Enlil-Nasir had enemies galore. A rich merchant deals with everyone and fights with everyone. A clay tablet describes a similar case. A man accused of killing his neighbor. Witnesses saw him with a bloody knife, but he swore, "That knife isn't mine." So what do you do in Enlil-Nasir's case? The crowd's whispers hold a clue. But which one's true? Hit the comments. Who'd you believe? A man steps forward from the crowd. His name's Lugal, a blacksmith. "That dagger's from my shop," he says. The crowd goes quiet, all eyes on Lugal. The dagger's bronze, sharp, expensive. Only the wealthy could afford it. Lugal says, "I sold it to Enlil-Nasir, but I sold others too." A clue. But does this make Lugal a suspect or clear him? You need to trace that dagger. But what if it's a setup? Things are heating up. You approach the body. The dagger in Enlil-Nasir's chest grabs your attention. The wound's deep. A clean cut. Right-handed or left-handed strike. Ancient detectives notice these details. In China's Han Dynasty, a bamboo strip describes a murder. They studied the victim's wound. Was it shallow or deep? What angle? It was like early forensics. Sumerians did this too. A clay tablet mentions a poisoning case, where they sniffed the victim's stomach. Smell something? Poison. You examine Enlil Nasir's wound. It's on the left side of his chest, likely a right-handed killer. Any left-handers in the crowd? Your eyes scan around. Lugal, the blacksmith, uses his right hand. But who else is here? A woman, Inanna Adi, clutches a basket, trembling. Should you question her or check the ground for clues? There's blood trailing in the dust. A footprint catches your eye, small but deep. Someone's? In a Chinese case, they matched a suspect's shoe to tracks in the sand. Who do these tracks point to? Another clue by the body. A broken clay tablet. Scribbles on it, but it's cracked. Enlil Nasir's debt ledger? Or a threat? Sumerians recorded everything on clay. Debts, deals, grudges. This fragment could crack the case. But what if someone planted it? Things are getting murky. Drop in the comments. What's this tablet hiding? You keep questioning the crowd. Inanna Adi steps up. I argued with Enlil Nasir, she says. He owed me money, but I didn't kill him. Her eyes are down, voice shaky. Is she lying? Ancient detectives read people like books. A clay tablet notes a man lied because his hands shook. Inanna Adi's hands are trembling. Fear or guilt. Another witness, Shamash Zu, Enlil Nasir's business partner. I was at his house last night, he says, but he was asleep. Why is he so calm? Being a partner makes him a suspect, right? A clay tablet tells of a merchant accused of killing his partner. The clue? A dagger found in his house. But it was stolen. Should you search Shamash Zu's place? Or press Inanna Adi harder? Someone's hiding something, but what? Hold tight, because the gods are about to step in. Clues are messy. Witnesses unreliable. What now? In summer? The answer was clear. Ask the gods. The river ordeal was their go-to. They'd toss the suspect into the Euphrates. Drown, you're guilty. Survive, you're innocent. Crazy, right? But faith in the gods was ironclad. A clay tablet tells of a man accused of killing his brother. He swam the river, survived, but the crowd didn't buy it. Who'd you throw in for Enlil Nasir's case? Lugal, Inanna Adi, or Shamash Zu? They take Inanna Adi to the river. The crowd watches. Cold water, crashing waves, terrified eyes. Inanna Adi swims and makes it. The gods say, innocent. But the crowd murmurs, what if the gods are wrong? Was the river ordeal fair? Nope, a good swimmer could cheat it, guilty or not. So what's next? Is Inanna Adi innocent, or just a great swimmer? Drop your guess in the comments. In Egypt, they'd use oaths instead. Suspects swore before Anubis's statue. Lie, and the gods would curse you. Sickness, bad luck, death. A papyrus tells of a merchant accused of killing his partner. He swore his innocence, but his warehouse burned the next day. Coincidence or divine wrath? In summer, oaths were big too. You call Shamash Zu to the temple. He swears before the god Shamash, I didn't do it, but his eyes dart. Is he lying or just scared? Back to the dagger. Bronze, sharp, costly. Gruel said, I made it, but who'd he sell it to? You head to his shop. Dusty shelves, blades glinting. Gruel says, I sold it to Enlil Nasir, but others too. Who else? You check his records. A name pops up. Nana Sin, another merchant, Enlil Nasir's rival. Nana Sin fought with him in the market all the time. A clay tablet tells of a merchant accused of killing his rival. The clue? His dagger. You find Nana Sin. Yeah, that's my dagger, he says. But it was stolen. Stolen? Or a lie? The dagger's handle has a mark, a crescent moon, Nana Sin's symbol. But it could have been in Enlil Nasir's house too. How was it stolen? You search Nana Sin's place. Another clue, a clay tablet addressed to Enlil Nasir. Pay your debts, or regret it. A threat, but the writing isn't Nana Sin's. Whose is it? Things are twisting. Hit the comments. Who wrote this tablet? You check the body again. The wounds on the left side of the chest. Deep, one strike. a right-handed killer. But there's more. Enlil-Nasir's hand clutches a scrap of fabric, tightly gripped. Fine, expensive. Whose is it? You saw similar fabric at Nana Sin's house. But Inanna Adi's basket had a matching shawl. Which is it? Archaeology backs this up. In Egypt, a mummy's hand held a cloth scrap that pointed to the killer. Who's this fabric pointing to? Around the wound, another mark, a bruise, like someone held Enlil-Nasir, then stabbed him. A strong person? Lugal, the blacksmith, is burly, but Shamash-Zu's strong too. Inanna Adi, not likely. Was there an accomplice? A Chinese case describes a murder with 2 suspects. One held, one stabbed. Did that happen here? Does the body hide more secrets? Let's keep digging. The crowd's still whispering. A woman says, Enlil-Nasir's wife hated him. His wife? Why didn't you think of her? Ninlolami, Enlil-Nasir's wife, is at home. You question her. I was asleep that night, she says. But her eyes flicker. A clay tablet tells of a wife poisoning her husband. This isn't poison, but a dagger. Still, is Ninlolami a suspect? You search her house. In a box, the same fabric as the bodies. But that fabric's common in Uruk. A trap? Another voice in the crowd. Enlil-Nasir fought with a priest. A priest? Could a servant of the gods kill? Priest Enkidu is at the temple. You question him. Yes, we argued, he says. But murder, never. But in the temple, a clue, a blood stain. Fresh or old? Enkidu says. It's from a sacrifice. Is he lying? Clay tablets mention priests accused of murder. What's Enkidu hiding? The plot thickens. Clues are tangled. Witnesses contradict. What now? Turn to the gods. In summer, oaths were powerful. You summon the suspects to the temple. Nana Sin, Shamash-Zu, Inanna Adi, and Ninlulumi swear before Shamash, I'm innocent, but someone's lying. Who? Oaths could reveal the truth in ancient times. Lying took guts. A papyrus tells of a man who swore innocence, then fell ill. Divine punishment? You decide to test Nana Sin in the river. The crowd gathers by the Euphrates. Nana Sin jumps in. Waves crash. Cold bites. Fear in his eyes. He swims and survives. The gods say, innocent. But the crowd whispers, what if the gods are wrong? Was the river fair? Nope. A good swimmer could cheat it. Guilty or not. Who's next? Inanna Adi, Shamash-Zu, or Ninlulumi? Drop your suspect in the comments. Dagger, fabric, tablet, bruise. The clues are a puzzle. Nana Sin's dagger, but he claims it was stolen. The fabric's at Ninlulumi's, but also Inanna Adi's. The tablet's a threat, but who's writing? Ancient detectives solved these puzzles. A clay tablet tells of a murder cracked by a cloth scrap. It led to the killer's house. Where's this fabric leading? You search Shamash-Zu's house. A clue. A knife. Like the dagger, but smaller. Blood on it. None. But it matches one seen at Enlil-Nasir's house. Shamash-Zu says, not mine. Is he lying? You check Inanna Adi's basket. A letter inside. To Enlil-Nasir. Pay your debt, or die. But it's not Inanna Adi's writing. It's Ninlulumi's. The wife's the killer? You confront Ninlulumi. I wrote the letter, she admits. But I didn't kill him. The dagger? The fabric? The bruise? I was home that night, she says. But a witness saw her in the market. Lying or framed? You're close to the truth. But is there a trap? You gather all suspects in the temple. The crowd holds its breath. The dagger's Nana Sin's, the fabric's Ninlulumi's, the letter's her writing. The bruise needs a strong hand. Shamash-Zu's strong, but Inanna Adi was seen in the market. Enkidu's temple has a blood stain. Who's lying? Ancient detectives would piece it together. A clay tablet tells of a murder solved by a letter. It exposed the killer. You press Ninlulumi. I wrote the letter, but I didn't stab him, she says. Who did? You call Shamash-Zu. You were Enlil Nasir's partner. You fought over money, right? Shamash Zu's silent, eyes down. The crowd murmurs. A witness steps up. Shamash Zu was at Enlil Nasir's house that night. Shamash Zu admits, I was there, but I didn't kill him. Who wielded the dagger? Suddenly, Inanna Adi shouts, Shamash Zu's lying. He stole from Enlil Nasir. The crowd gasps. Shamash Zu snaps, you were there too, but the fabric's in Nilalumi's. The letter's hers. The bruise matches Shamash Zu's strength. Ancient detectives would decide here. The clay tablet tells of a murder solved by a partner's betrayal. Did Shamash Zu kill Enlil Nasir, or did Nilaumi plan it? In the temple, a final oath. Shamash Zu swears before Shamash. His voice shakes, hands sweaty. The crowd silent. Then Nilaumi screams, Shamash Zu and I did it. He stabbed. I planned. Shock. The crowd erupts. Shamash Zu yells, lies. But the fabric, letter, bruise, they all point to them. In ancient times, such a confession closed the case. Per the Code of Hammurabi, the guilty faced punishment. Blood money? Maybe. But this murder would echo through Uruk. Shamash Zu and Nilaumi are led to justice. The crowd disperses. Uruk calms. But you're still thinking, what if there's another secret? Another mastermind? Ancient detective work was like this. Clues, oaths, witnesses, gods, all pieces of a puzzle. Enlil Nasir's murder is solved. But not every ancient case was. The river ordeal wasn't fair. Oaths could be lies. Clues could mislead. Yet Sumerians kept order with their wits, eyes, and community. A dagger's angle, a fabric scrap, a witness's trembling voice. These were their tools. What shocked you most? The river ordeal's wildness, the ancient detective's cunning, or how one murder could shake a city? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Next time you watch a crime show, think, this quest for justice began 4,000 years ago in Rook streets. Our ancient ancestors didn't just solve murders. They laid the foundation for civilization. Subscribe for more mysteries and tell us in the comments, what ancient secret should we unravel next? Let's dive in together.